let's say 10, 15 years ago, what percentage of combines had a yield monitor in them? A few, yeah, I don't have the answer. So, so not very many, right? And it's a loaded one, right? Really depending on you. But not many. And think where we're at now, where the vast majority of the combines now are running a yield monitor, and they're collecting data, right? Yield data. And it's not just yield data anymore. We have planters that are going to tell us down pressure, plant spacing, good ride, singulation. We have soils data, right? Fertility data from soil sampling, zone, grids, whatever the case is. We have a mass amount of data now in agriculture, right? Are we using it? Are we getting value out of it? When we talk about what does climate do, we're trying to bring some actionable insights onto the farm. So you think about a single piece of data like precipitation. You get a 1/4 inch of rain on a field. Is that valuable data? Yeah, absolutely. And think of this, the higher we go, the more value you're getting out of this. So there's value there, no doubt. It's good information. But what else can we do with it? We have all these data layers. So what if we say, all right, now I know we have that 1/4 inch of precip. What if it's on a clay loam soil in Minnesota? Okay, well now we know things like its water holding capacity, infiltration, percolation, those soil properties, and we can apply that 1/4 inch of rain to this soil, right? And we're adding more value to that information that we have. Now, if we can talk about nitrogen then, and say, hey, this is a soil that holds its water, does not drain quickly, and we know the temperature of that soil, can we start modeling denitrification? Right? How long has that soil been saturated? What's the soil temp? That's what's going to drive denitrification. Okay? And ultimately, can we get to a point where we're giving you enough insights for you and whoever your trusted advisor is to make recommendations about nitrogen? You'll see in our product, we aren't going to tell you, you need to put on 40 pounds. That's not what we're in. What we're in is saying, hey, based on the conditions that we've had and the forecasts that we have moving forward and your farming practices, this is what we're modeling out for a nitrogen loss scenario, okay? Now, here is actionable information that you can make a decision off of, right? Instead of just having that gut feeling of loss, now we can quantify that. Or, as you'll see today in this presentation, things like mineralization. Really saw some neat things this year. So that's what we do. We do data science, right? Provide insights into the field to the farm that can't be seen with the naked eye. Okay, I mean it's simple. We know mineralization exists, it always has, but how much in a given year? Well, you know, egg and whole just kind of says, oh, it depends, and that's the correct answer, it does depend. Okay, but can we farm with more information and make actionable decisions out of this? Okay, it all sounds great, right? That's perfect, you can sell that, right? But let's get into this a little bit more. Let's tell stories, that's what I like to do. All right, so I'm talking from a farmer perspective. It's time to get back to climate a little bit and show you what our tool did this past year. We looked at this field in northern Indiana, and these guys, it was wet for them. And you can see tile lines showing up, the stress plant there, whether it's a lack of nitrogen from leaching or denitrification or just general stress in that plant. You can see there's water issues here. And this is where we said, all right, what does the model look like, all right? We're modeling available nitrogen in that field. Let's take a look. So this comes straight from Climate, a little screenshot if you want to get into some of the weather data that we provide. Okay, in northern Indiana, I said from April 1st to August 15th, okay? How much precipitation? So a 5-year average, you can see up there, compare a 5-year average, about 21 inches of precip, what they got. This year, 34 inches in that same timeline, okay? A lot more water, no surprise there. This is pretty crazy as well. They had 16 rainfall events greater than 1 inch, 3 rainfall events greater than 2 inches, and 3.5 inches on June 7th. So it was saturated soils staying wet, okay? And warm saturated soils staying wet. Conditions are perfect for denitrification. Leaching is going to occur, no doubt, okay? These are the questions that they're asking. Will my crop run short of nitrogen? Yield loss? Should I apply? How much? What do you do in that situation, right? Right now, a lot of it is what's your gut telling you? What are you hearing? What are the trends? What are your neighbors doing? And we feel like we can get to a better spot than that. Okay. These are screenshots from last year's model of what they put in. So in that field in Indiana, 200 bushel yield goal. They put on some spring anhydrous, 170 pounds, and some UAN, some 28% as well, to the tune of 182 pounds of nitrogen for a 200 bushel yield goal. If you want to look at soils, I think 4% organic matter, near neutral, 110-day corn. Previous crop was soybeans, so there's nitrogen coming in there. This is what I want to get to right here. This is what the farmer sees. Okay? This is our nitrogen advisor from last year. This is what it's showing. Anything that's gray is taking the weather data, weather events that we have that have happened. Anything that's colored here, be it red if there's a shortfall, green if there's a surplus, is what we're modeling out. So, again, that August 15th date is when I took this screenshot. There's not a whole lot to model out. We're pretty confident what's going to happen the rest of the year out. But this is what you see. So you see that spring application, okay, that they put on, plus your soybean credit, plus the mineralization, massive leaching, denitrification, and ultimately we ended up modeling out a 39-pound shortfall, okay, at maturity. And you can see this 39-pound shortfall much, much earlier than August 15th. But notice this, so you apply, okay, availability is going to be subject to some of the microbial processes in the soil, no doubt. And so you see there's availability, and then you see a drop with saturated soils. You see some leaching. You see less mineralization. And this thing is just jagged up and down, reflecting all those different rainfall events, saturated period. And then you see this really steep drop off. The 3.5 inches of rain on already saturated soils. And the other part of it is this is when you're going to start seeing the rapid uptake once we hit that middle of June time period. You expect to see a drop, but to see it drop like that is pretty scary. This is what they were faced with out there, okay? Now, being able to say which fields have shown the most loss, right? How can I prioritize which fields I can work with? And then let me play out some scenarios. Let's put it here, and you can forward think here and say, all right, what if I put in, take a Hagee out there and put on 40 pounds? What's that going to look like? And see how that models out. Having that ability just to quantify some of these numbers and stuff is a huge advantage to really where most of us are at today.